Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host, Chris Diasis, and we are here to talk about, yes, the next generation of Nintendo consoles, the Switch 2 is what I'm going to call it. Sure that others will give it other names. But this, while you've probably heard 1,000 different rumors online, this one feels a little more legit because it is published by VideoGameChronicle.com. They're a very legitimate group of people. They know what they're doing, and they don't publish rubbish like a lot of other Nintendo YouTubers and websites and articles that you will see. So it says, according to multiple people with knowledge of Nintendo's next gen console plans, the company is likely to release new hardware during the second half of 2024. It's obviously been kept closely guarded. There is dev kits that's been handed out. There's going to be a portable mode like the Nintendo Switch. It could launch with an LCD instead of the OLED one to keep the costs down. I think that makes sense. Um, and they will have to increase it from 32 gig. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo cheapens out and does 64 gig. But if I was them, I would be doing 128 gig to 256 gig internal memory. It will also accept physical games, which is good. The backwards compatibility is not quite, they couldn't get anything confirmed about that. I'm in two minds about it. I would like it to be, but if you're making new games for a next generation of consoles, you don't really need to know if it's going to be backwards compatibility or not. It's not as essentially important for that. So obviously, Nintendo did not immediately respond to their request for. They're not going to be saying, "Oh yeah, oh you just leaked." Yeah, well, you got us now. We're making a new console for that time next year. 2024 does make sense. Obviously, the Switch sales are declining. It has sold about 125 million. So plus, the other thing too is, um, so they do release hardware mid cycle compared to the PlayStation and Xbox. The other thing too is if they release this in November, December next year, you'll be getting all the hardcore fans and the casual fans trying to get this console, and it will be the repeat of the Switch and the Wii console, where it took you months or potentially years for you to get your hands on a console. So that's why they're stockpiling consoles now. So when they do launch it, probably this time next year, I wouldn't be surprised, maybe the middle this time next year in a year's time, where they'll have plenty of units for them to roll out, and they don't have to worry about stock shortages and them losing out on money and fans going, well, stuff it, I'll go buy PlayStation 5 instead. You know, they don't want that type of scenario. Um, so it's true also too, with this comment, I'll argue like unlike 2017, the other consoles still feel relatively new at the moment, particularly due to component shortages slowing down the rollout in the first 2 years. So that's true. Will Nintendo enjoy that benefit that the other console's a little older? Maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. But you know, if they release a new Mario Kart at launch, that will probably not be such a big deal. But we'll see what will happen. I think for a launch title, probably makes sense to do a 3D Mario title. Seeing that we're getting Super Mario Brothers Wonder in October on my birthday this year, and then next year you can roll out a new 3D Mario game, because that would have been like, geez, 7 8 years since Mario Odyssey. It would be too, wouldn't it? 7 years. Time flies when you're having fun. But yes, the question is like the hardcore supporters will run out and buy this. Obviously, I will. But the casual fans, are they going to run out and buy another Switch console? You know, what's going to be that feature or that thing that's going to make them go, okay, I'm going to go and get this new Switch console? I don't know. This is the thing, we don't really know. So I'm curious to see what will happen. But they need to have a really deep launch lineup. We're talking, Mario Kart, Mario, Zelda, probably Metroid Prime 4 would be nice to see in the first year. Just a really good collection of games that will come out in that first 6 to 12 months. I'm talking about first 6 months here, because that's going to be really good. As it explains here, Mario Kart, they've got to have Mario Kart by the end of 2024, I think, because that's the biggest system seller. It's the game that everyone buys. Hardcore fan, casual fan, everyone Mario Karts, right? It'll be interesting. But it'll be interesting to see if they release it on the third quarter or the fourth quarter next year. But I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out soon what will happen with this new console. But I'm looking forward to it. It's still a fair wait to go. But time flies when you're having fun. And we're already here into the 8th month of 2023. So we'll see what will happen. Hey, it should be fun and entertaining. Let me know in the comments if you have survived through this video, what you think the next console will be like and when you would like it to be released. Obviously, it won't be coming out this year. The earliest you expected is April next year after their financial year has ended after March the 31st. So that is it for me, and I shall see you next time on Nintendo Ninja News, where we do news of Nintendo.